So I get an email one day, and it's a really nice email, and it's from you, and it's about this brand new band called Fox and Eagle.
Yeah, great band.
Tell us about Fox and Eagle.
Well, Fox and Eagle are my two sons, Lyle and Arden. And
how old are they?
10 and 7. And they had worked out the intro to their show, which was like, yo, I'm Eagle, yo, I'm Fox. That was pretty much what they had.
Yeah.
And they were a band called Fox and Eagle. And then Lyle said to me, do you think you could get us on the hour, Daddy? So all of a sudden I'm the manager of Fox and Eagle. So I called George and said, I got this band Fox and Eagle, you got to hear them. They're amazing. They've got an intro.
Yeah. But I was willing to put them on. I really was. So I call them back and I say, hey, listen, well, next time you guys come on the show, bring Fox and Eagle, they can perform. But they broke up within a matter of...
They broke up immediately.
They broke up?
Yeah.
But they broke up like an hour after they started.
Well, I think Arden wanted to go swimming. And we were at the cottage and, you know, there were other things to do.
And then that's the day you got in the plane. So tell me about this plane crash.
Yeah, it was a harrowing few seconds, but it all happened really, really quickly. I fly a Cessna 206 amphib, which means it can land on the water and on asphalt, or other trees, for example. And myself and some friends, we were going for lunch. A little fish and chips lunch over in Sans Souci, Frying Pan Island, from our cottage. We took off the water. It was a hot day, sort of sluggish day, and the plane just started to sort of sink, and it was an awful, awful feeling. But I had lots of room. I had about 200 feet of clearance over the trees, and I just thought, oh, okay, we're going to be fine here, and then we weren't fine.
It just like dropped?
Yeah, it just dropped into the treetops, and when you take off in a small float plane, you're full power, and you know, I pushed the nose over to try, and I thought, I don't need to go up as long as I don't go down right now. But we just kept sinking, a combination of maybe the heat and maybe a bit of a wind slip or a downdraft from a nearby hill. But I couldn't outclimb it. And once the trees started hitting the floats, I just knew the increased resistance, I just wasn't going to make it. So pulled the power and flared into the treetops and got extremely lucky. We landed on these two immature maple trees, which bowed over as we like grinded up them like Tony Hawk, and then just slid off the front. Like the eventual fall was maybe 15 feet.
When the plane hits the ground, do you have one of those, is everybody okay moments? Is that what it was?
The very first thing was my wife, who was in the back of the plane, shouted, "What the f just happened?"
She complained about your driving. She complained about your driving.
And yeah, it was very sobering. But I'll tell you, we got out of the plane. We walked back to the cottage. I phoned London Flight Service. I canceled my flight plan. I said, we've crashed. Everybody's okay. No injuries. The plane's in the forest. This is where it is. OPP showed up at my cottage. They did a quick interview, and then the transportation safety guy, and he wanted all my flight calculations, my weight balance, all that technical stuff. And after all of that happened, he said, oh, I forgot to get the time of takeoff from you. And I went, 29 minutes ago. Wow. So we took off, crashed, got back to the cottage, closed the flight plan, did the transportation safety examination, talked to the OPP, and finished lunch with the kids in 29 minutes.
It's a band with a cancer survivor, also toured with Lou Reed, the departure of a very famous, high-profile member of the band, a plane crash. When you and you know, you helped create the independent music scene in this country with that yellow tape you guys put together. When you think about your time at the Bare Naked Ladies and what this band represents now in Canada, what do you like? How do you view this band?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, well, when I called Ed after his crash, I said, "Welcome to the I Almost Died Club."
Thanks, buddy.
You know, I'm still here largely because of this band. You know, they stuck by me when I was going through my cancer battle, and I've really stuck by them, you know, and I still enjoy it. And I still really enjoy all my other projects, too. I think they all help feed into each other creatively. And, you know, last year was one of the best creative years of my life, despite all the turmoil that happened with this band.
It's a real pleasure to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George.
It's called All in Good Time. March 23rd is when you get the whole thing. We'll be right back.